Hey guys, Joe here. Instead of feeling sorry for myself, I decided to document my struggle with cancer in hopes of helping someone else. Join me in conquering this disease, and together we will build a brand new you. Remember, there is hope. It's not the end. Hey guys, Joe Rachel here. I better button up my shirt and get myself presentable here. I don't know what's going on there. There we go. Well, I'm looking a little more professional. So anyways, guys, I wanted to make this video for a while. I want to make a video about the port. Alright, the good old port, and I'll put a picture up here of my port. And so, if you know about the port, then you must have already had some CT scans and probably were diagnosed already. And now you're maybe looking at the possibility of getting your port installed. They call it port placement. And I think the doctor that does it is the thoracic surgeon, because I had CT scans and I had my lungs drained and I had my port placed by the same doctor here locally, Dr. Baumgartner. Great guy, did an excellent job. But when they first tell you that you're gonna get this port, and my doctor's not a man of a lot of words, and I've come to the determination that he doesn't talk a lot, because a lot of the stuff he could say would probably get you worried and scared. So he's very direct and very to the point, and he doesn't do a lot of speculating, and he doesn't do a lot of describing or descriptive. He's not giving you a lot of sort of things to really think about. So he just says, okay, well, we gotta schedule an appointment for your port placement. And then he continues on with the appointment. And I'm thinking, like, I already knew a guy that had a port, so I at least knew what it was. And I mean, I can show you. So that's my port right there. You can see the 3 dots. Alright, and I got some other pictures. I'll show you those too. And then this is where the port is. There's a tube that goes up over the collarbone, and this is literally like a string that's sticking out of my skin. And I gotta ask my doctor about this. I don't know if this is like a stitch that was supposed to fall off, or if that stays there, but I don't want to pull on it. I don't know. So that's my port. You can see and so they poke in the middle of that. And first of all, I'll just tell you that you definitely want the port, because, dude, shoot into these. My veins are just pumped right now. So you can see my veins are awesome. And they usually can find my veins really well. But they miss once in a while. Especially when these, when your veins are really big, they can like slough off to the side and the needle can go in. Nonetheless, you want this port. They can take blood through it. They can give you medication through it. And you don't have to have needles in your arm. It's just fantastic. Alright, sorry, I didn't get my water. I gotta keep my throat and my voice toasted. So you want this port, and I'm gonna tell you, don't need to be afraid to get it, especially if you've already had a scan, if you've done the CT scan with the imaging solution that they put in your vein so they can see everything. Or if you had the biopsies already, the port is nothing to be afraid of. So the same doctor that did the biopsy, the thoracic surgeon. The appointment is made. I go to the doctor, right? I go to the hospital. I go to day surgery. And it's nerve-wracking. You don't know what to expect. But let your brother Joe tell you what to expect, because it's nothing to be afraid of. If you've already had the CT scan, if you've already had biopsies, then the port is nothing. I go to day surgery. They take me into the most... Now, I like technology. I like computers. I'm into that stuff, right? So they take me into the most fantastic surgical room, and it's like 4 monitors on this thing the doctor uses, and all this different stuff, and then on the wall there's all these different catheters and different things they can put in your body. It's like a kind of like a glass case with all these cool things in there. And so it's really just nice, high-tech, very expensive surgical room. And the doctor comes in, and the only thing that you're gonna feel is that initial pinprick from the local anesthetic. That's it. The rest of it is a little pressure when they pull maybe this line through, and you can't see it, but there's a line, a little tube that goes up over the collarbone, then it goes into your artery. And so when he pulled that through, like kind of snaked that through, there was a little pressure, but there was no pain. So the only thing that I felt was the initial pinprick from the shot, and they give you a little time for numbing, and then the doctor comes in, and they got you covered, right? So you're in this room, and they lay you down, and they cover you from head to toe, warm blankets, and they cover your face, and they have like an opening off to the side. So they got you like laying off to the side with an opening looking that way, or whatever way. And so then you can't see him or anything, and you can't be distracted, and they don't want you to move, they don't want you to touch your chest. And so he comes in, and I mean literally 15 minutes and he's done, he's gone. This time I didn't even see the guy. I didn't even see him at all. Came in, boom, 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 I heard him talking, joking with the people, I'm joking with him, and he does his business, and they tease him about how he stitched it up, and I mean it's straight, it looks fine, but they were making fun of him, and he's like, you know this guy's awake and he's listening, and I'm like, yeah, I can hear you. And so he did his business, he did his thing, and go out, they wheel me back up to day surgery, no problem. So for a couple days I'm sore, I'm tender, I'm a week out from starting chemo. This thing's gonna heal and be in my chest, and I'm gonna start chemo in less than a week it was. And so sure enough, heals up, a couple days of discomfort. Mind you, with my situation and my tumor, I can only sleep on my stomach. So I can only sleep, and I gotta kind of position myself so I'm not pressing on this, because the incision is a little tender. Nothing major. And so a few days go by, I take off the covering, the bandage, and my daughter's calling me. So I take off the bandage and clean it, keep it clean until I go to chemo, and everything is fine. But really the gist of the whole thing is there's nothing to be fearful of. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's only that little prick from the shot for the numbing. After that, you don't feel anything, you don't see anything, you don't hear anything. You hear stuff, but it's nothing to be concerned with. So that's the port placement, guys. And it's nothing, you can do it, and you definitely want it. It's a blessing. Once it's there, it's like, oh, please use my port. Don't put a needle on my arm. I still gotta go to the lab and get blood work a couple times a week, and they don't use the port. They go in the arm, and it's just horrible. So you want the port, and just no problems. Love ya. Remember, there is hope. It's not the end. Everybody that does cancer and chemo has a port, so you can have one too. So connect with me. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.